No, it doesn't. It could only have a pointer to the renderer, I think. Soft.scene, camera.pixel chords to space chords, okay. Then there's on mouse motion, and this will be called from xlib, I guess. So, I think this will break. Let me make sure it breaks. Nope, doesn't break. Oh yeah, it does. Oh, it does when I move the mouse there. Interesting. That must be when it calls on mouse motion. Okay. Gotcha. So if this is going to, and this should call a scene method. That makes sense. And it makes sense that it calls the parent classes as well. Okay, so let me go here. Point. That's the pixel chords to space chords, okay. D point. Pixel chords to space chords. Oh, it gives you dx and dy for free. What's relative equals true? Pixel chords to space chords. Camera.pixel chords to space chords. Chords. If relative return twice this. I don't think I understand this code. PX and PY? Oh, there's a point, then D point. Oh wait, no. It's called... Where's the scene? Oh, I'm looking at pixel chords with space chords. This. PX, PY, and relative. So it's going... PW... What does it even stand for? Oh, pixel width. So it's dividing out the pixel coordinates and going to... No, it's taking the ratio, how far the pixel is in the width and the height dimensions. So this... Okay, so then it gets the frame shape. And then... Okay. This is the center. And it's scaling by the frame coordinates. And it's dividing... Wait, what the fuck? It switches to the window code, I think. Oh, yeah, that's true. Y, pixel y minus pixel height over 2. I think I see what this over 2 would be here. Because it's essentially translating it so that it's with respect to the center of the scene rather than the corner of the scene. Okay. Anyway, I think this mostly makes sense. It makes sense at least enough to port to the downstream version. But the window is going to need a reference to something, so... First, wait, did I mess something up? I did mess something up. There we go. In the renderer, when the window is instantiated, here, it should pass a reference to that window, I guess. So now, this window has a reference to the renderer. And with that, I think the renderer has a reference to the camera. It does. Does it have a reference to the scene? It actually doesn't. And I think it was on purpose that it doesn't. So you could instantiate a scene and then later pass it a renderer. Let me see how the Cairo renderer handles this. Because I know that also. Yeah, here. There's this function. Initially, the Cairo render doesn't have a reference to the scene, but after a init scene is called, it then holds a reference to the, like, a scene file writer. But it works the same way. Is this done in scene? So here, the scene gets the renderer. And then calls a renderer.init scene with itself. What's the difference between Cairo renderer and OpenGL renderer? The way it renders, basically. Actually, it's in the name. The OpenGL renders with OpenGL and the Cairo renderer renders with Cairo. So that's how they're different. But it does call this init scene, and that's where it passes essentially itself. So if render is none, it does this. So it's passing itself an init scene. That means this has to have an init scene already. And it does here, so I just have to do this. Is there advantage to either is my question, I guess, to further clarify. The OpenGL render. OpenGL rendering is faster. Much faster, which is basically why you do it. And it also allows for 3D stuff more easily. And it's also more complicated. So with this change, at the time that the scene is instantiated, the renderer will be passed a reference to the scene. So now I can call... Wait, what? Pixel coordinates to space coordinates. Shouldn't this be something the renderer does? Shouldn't this just be like that? Like, why would the scene know anything about pixel coordinates? Oh, the scene.on mouse motion, that makes sense though. So I think this would be renderer.scene. So I didn't need the scene reference. So I don't have to do that. I would check out Manim's OpenGL branches and on GitHub. Which Manim? Well, I guess if you bring up branch, then you mean the community version. But yeah, it is. I think I can... Does this work? Nope. I should probably do that one day. Okay, so both of these are using the renderer. So the OpenGL renderer doesn't need a reference to this. No, it does need a reference to the scene. But the window doesn't. Okay. Cool, cool. And if you need help, you can also go to the Discord, since there are a lot of people helping in there. Unless you came from the Discord. Okay, so now I have to write this. Pixel coordinates to space coordinates in the renderer. Space coords. And I guess it'll just have all of these. They're nice. I try to see if I can make MathTech work inside of matrices NumPy. Inside of matrices. NumPy complains though, so I'm gonna see if I can fix it. Okay, best of luck. So let's see what we've got here. So this makes sense now. It's gonna call pixel coords to space coords, and it has it here. I'm just gonna print those. Print f string px equals px py equals py relative equals. I'll just do that. And this won't get called yet. Super on mouse motion. Self.pixel coords to space coords. Oh, so it'll get called here. Viewpoint and self.render.scene.on mouse motion. Guess I'll copy the signature. Man, that does a lot of stuff. I actually won't have this do anything. Great. Okay. Guess I'm ready to see if that works. Nope, crashed. Okay, surface example has no attribute on mouse motion. What did I... Oh, I put this in the renderer. Render.scene.onMouse motion. That makes sense. Okay, so this makes sense, I think. So the pixels are offsets from where? Wait. Where's the origin? They're offsets from here. That's a weird origin. And why is this getting called twice? Also, the music's too loud. It's getting called once. And this makes sense. This is the offset from the bottom left corner. I'm not sure what this call is. Renderer. Close the Cairo renderer. Pixel coords to space chord. Maybe it just randomly gets called somewhere else. Oh, it gets called here. With the delta. Delta X and delta Y. Okay. So this I should comment. Offset from the bottom left corner in pixels. Wait. This is another one of those one-line functions. Why did I just put this here? Relative equals true, and yeah. Then I can move that here. So this goes to 0 as I move here. Then the delta. Okay. And the delta is where it was from before. Lovely. Oh wait, I tried to save that. I have to make sure that still works. Yeah, it still works. Okay. So we have that. On mouse motion called scene.onMouse motion. On mouse motion, it moves self.mouse point. Then it propagates this event. Event type.mouse motion event. Then, if the key is pressed, this is where it increments the Euler angles. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess now I want to know, what does this do? This must be used to, this has to be used to attach it to objects and stuff like that. That has to be what that's for. So how do objects hook into this? Circle.move to himself.mouse point. I changed my mind. I don't think that's what it does. I don't know what this does. Maybe I should just ask Grant what this does. Because self.mouse point is updated here. And this is what objects hook into. And the camera frame is updated here. The Euler angles are updated there. And so that's how the camera changes happen. So what is this doing? Point, D point, propagating event equals event dispatcher.dispatch. And the event dispatcher in all caps is just, oh, it's this thing. So you can add listeners to it. If they're of the type event listener. Okay. So you can inherit from event listener. And you can write this class, which is initialized with a object and a callback. And fucking, what is it, like dispatch to it or something? Event dispatcher.dispatch. If you've added these listeners, then when you dispatch, it's going to find the type of the event that you dispatched. Then if it's a mouse drag event, it's going to go to the listeners for that event type. So this is for mouse drag events, then there's mouse events, then there's key events. And for each of those listeners, it's going to call that listener's callback with the object as an argument. And then it'll optionally propagate. What does propagating do? Oh, okay, so you could like, an event can trigger an event listener, and that event listener can propagate another event. If propagate is not none and propagate is false, then you return. Okay. This makes sense now. So this is essentially doing is there's oh my gosh, music. There's the window is continually issuing events. And these events are going to this like on mouse motion. And this is sending it to dispatchers or event listeners. And this is doing something and then optionally sending a propagate. And then optionally propagate event. Optionally sends a propagate event. So that's like the workflow. Hope I remembered that well enough. And I definitely didn't. On mouse motion. So let me start by just doing this, the mouse point thing. That seems really straightforward. And then just not deal with event listeners. I don't think we even need those. But where's this mouse point? Within init, it just creates a mouse point and a mouse drag point. So I'll just put those here. Has to inherit OpenGL. Oh. Okay, so this is inherit OpenGL point. And then this is only if you're using OpenGL render. So then it's gonna save these. I didn't import OpenGL point either because I don't know where it is. Mobject, OpenGL Mobject Pi. Okay. That should solve that. And now I think no, I think this is gonna crash. Yeah, okay. Disp oh my gosh. Mouse point dot move to point. Self dot shift with a matrix class though. Let's surely do have a matrix class. Why does move to not work? It was so close. A lot of things worked. The debugger there. Okay. Is our move to... Uh-oh. Point to align. Get bounding box. Okay. Target minus point to align times core mask. There's target none. Pointer object at get bounding box point. Is instance pointer object OpenGL mobject? Then it does this. Otherwise, it does target equals pointer mobject. Um, no. Point or mobject is none. Wait, how does move to point? Is the mouse point never being set? It just print self.mouse point? Okay. Point or mobject. Why is it receiving none? I don't understand. We're doing self.mousepoint.move to here. So, oh, the point being passed is none. So I go up, print point. That's none. Why is it being called with none? So I go up again. Pixel chords to space chords. Did that return none? D point is also none. Okay. So pixel chords to space chords. Oh, because it's not returning anything. That makes so much sense. Okay. Camera. Well, I'd like to say that I understand this code thoroughly and know everything about it, but I don't know what this is doing at all. Get frame shape. Do I have that? Width, height. I know I have a function. I have a way to get the pixel dimensions. Something other than reading the config. I thought there was a way to get it from the frame buffer. Oh well. Guess I'm not doing that. Pixel width and pixel height. And the frame width and frame height. Okay. I think I actually had to do it this way because the frame buffer was like reading it from this, so I wanted this to be the source of truth. The frame shape, I'm not sure how to... No. This is stored in the config too. I just don't know what the name of the variable is. There's the pixel height and pixel width. Is there a frame height? Nope. Frame width? Nope. Our config definitely has this. Our config has like everything. Frame Y radius. Oh, the frame height. And probably frame width as well. Frame height. And get frame center, which we also probably have. Nope. Isn't that just origin? Let me see what get frame center returns here. Self.frame.get center. Get points at 0. This assumes the first point is at the center. Oh, this isn't just the origin. Because you can move the camera frame. So let me see how to do that. The OpenGL camera. Yeah, I don't know how to get this. Unless there's something I can just copy over. Well, I guess I copied over this, so maybe the rest of the logic is the same too. How does this thing initialize its points? Set points, origin, left, right, down, up. Okay. That should actually work. Self dot render dot. Wait, where's the camera frame even stored? Oh, it's self dot camera. So it should be self dot camera dot get center. Okay, with that, I think everything should just work. Because it'll read these from the config. It'll read this from its camera. And then I'm not sure how this logic works, but it should just do whatever the upstream version does. Great, I did it. By which I mean I can move the mouse without it crashing. Towards to space. This gets passed to the scene.onMouseMotion. And this moves that there. Okay, so let me print out. Print out the data it's actually getting. Okay, great. And now it's getting points in Manim space, I think. So the origin is like here? Yeah, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Then it goes to 6-4, yeah. Nice. And since the scene is receiving points in Manim space, it shouldn't be too hard. Actually, I wonder if I can already... Maybe I can already, just with that. Attach things to the mouse location. Here I'll just do square. If I can spell square. And S, S. I'll just wait for like a minute. Nope. No, attribute move point. Oh, it's mouse point, right? Hey, I did it. Are you proud of me, chat? There's probably no one even watching. They are missing the first time interaction was used on Manim CE. And they don't even know. Well, a few people do. Van Distig knows. Great, that's great. It's not enough to push right now. But I'm going to commit this on a different branch. Yeah. I'll call this ModernGL interaction. Mouse move. Say read mouse movement. Cool. Community people need to review my OpenGL PR. I think this is ready now. And threw in the scene.embed was simpler than I thought, than I expected. Now, okay, that was fun. It got a ton of work done. And it's been 2 hours and change. I'm going to cut it here. Thanks so much for watching, people who showed up. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Actually, I wonder, maybe I should raid someone. That could be fun. Even if I only have like 2 people. Since I'll be there too. Why isn't it appearing? Who's programming? No, I changed my mind. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I'm too lazy. Next time I will. Okay. Stream's ending.